What's going on, everybody? Trev Wilson here. Welcome back to the Bourbon Ranch. Today, we have another full-scale bourbon battle. We have done the budget 100 proof battle. This time, we're doing what I'm calling the intermediate bourbon battle. Really, all we're doing is just increasing the price from the budget friendly to now between $40 to $60. You know, that's intermediate. Intermediate enough. All of these are 100 proof. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna blind them all up, drink through them, see which one comes out on top for me. Just wanted to put 4 bottles that are around the same price, same proof, put them up against each other, just see what happens. See which one comes out on top. So, the bottles we're dealing with today, Colonel E.H. Taylor, small batch, Knob Creek, 12-year, Henry McKenna, 10-year, and Smoke Wagon, small batch. Just gonna make this simple. We're gonna smell through them, we're gonna taste through them. I'm just gonna rank them, which one's my favorite. That's gonna be the end of that. Let's get right into it. I already have all of these blind. Don't know which one is which. That's the whole purpose of it. Just see which one that I like better. Glass A. Kinda nutty, but good nutty, you know? There's that bad nutty that I always talk about, and then there's this nutty. Decent amount of oakiness coming through, a good oak, not some bitter oak. This is like pecan pie. That's what this is, pecan pie with a charred crust. Ooh, that's so good. On the palate. A little more brighter of a nut on the palate. Does that make sense? You got some bright nuts on the palate. You got dark nuts on the nose, bright nuts on the palate. That's what we're dealing with here. Honestly, I was liking that nose a whole heck of a lot better than I was the palate. Not that the palate's bad. That nose though, I mean that smelled like I just pulled a pie out and I'm smelling it. Tasting it, not getting as much of a pie than I was anticipating. Let's just go on to B. We'll go back through these later. I want my initial thoughts. Glass B. This one's a little bit brighter, so whereas that was like a dark nut, dark crusted pie crust, this is like an apple pie, but a fresh apple pie. You pulled it out of the oven maybe a little too soon, so the crust was not charred yet. It's just like a little doughy, but still edible. That's what this is. A little bit of corniness, so maybe some youthfulness to it, I don't know, but I'm getting some corniness with it too. So bright green apple, a little bit of that doughy crust, and then some corn with it on the palate. Still getting a little bit of that corny flavor, but that bright apple note that I'm getting is actually quite nice. Unlike the first one, I actually like the palate of this one better than I was the nose. It's bright, it's citrusy, it's fresh. First pass through that one's pretty decent. It's doing good for me. Glass C. Okay, so we've had pecan pie. We've had apple pie. This is cherry pie. What's Glass D gonna be? We're hitting all the pies. There's a super cherry note coming through this. Again, I don't know if I'm just wanting pie. I mean, I've been on a diet. I need some pie. This is my pie. This is my version of pie. I'm craving pie, but there's still kind of that pie crust going on. It smells like a cherry pie on the palate. This one's much sweeter than the other two have been. That cherry note, super sweet. A little bit less pie-y, less pie-like on the palate. The palate was much more like you were eating the jar of the pie filling, okay? The nose was much more of they put together pie. The palate was just eating the filling, okay? You said, no, I don't want that crust. I just want the cherry and its juices. All right, Glass D, which ironically has the letter B on it, just to confuse me a little bit. Glass D. Okay, we're going back, full circle. We're back to A. This one's kind of nutty, oaky, nice levels of char. I'm gonna have to side by side them because that's actually really familiar just off of my memory from going through the first one, going through A the first time. We're going back into the pecan pie territory. This is like your grandma on your mother's side made pecan pie, and A was your grandma on your father's side. So it's two entirely different pecan pies, but they're both pecan pies. I really want pie. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, much more of that toasted oak, that toasted nut, roasted pecan on the palate. This grandmother cooks a lot better pecan pie. I'm sorry. All right, that's my initial pass through. Honestly, I just wanted to get an idea of them. I think just based on my initial findings, that D is probably in the lead. I want to side-by-side it with A because they are similar. And I'm gonna have to side-by-side B and C because I really don't know where I want to put them. Neither of them were bad or outstandingly good. They're just kind of somewhere in the middle. I don't really know. So we're gonna side-by-side things. First, obviously, I think D is the winner just based on that first pass through. So let's side-by-side it. D and A. The battle of the pecan pie. Okay, A. Okay, no, side by side, they're pretty different. This might be like your friend's grandma who really is not that into making pies. Maybe she bakes something else, but she tried to make a pecan pie. Now that you're tasting something like real pecan pie and you're going to your friend's grandma and you say, dude, I'm sorry. It's still good, don't get me wrong, it's still good. It might even be the second place nose. But just compared to this nose, this is kind of what I'm looking for. D seems a little bit more barrel charry, which I absolutely love. I love when it's picking up more of the barrel notes, and I'm getting a lot more of it on here. I mean, they're both really good. They're both really good. This might be a toss-up, really, just depending on your mood, which one you're going for. So let's just taste them. I don't know, I'm still getting in the back, I'm getting that barrel char, it is shining through. I can tell this is probably one of the older ones, so. And then D. D just has more of what A is putting on. D just drinks a little hotter, a little spicier. It drinks a little more barrely, a little bit oakier. It's just everything A has, but just turned up a little bit, so. In that case, I'm gonna put D ahead of A. D ahead of A. Barely. I mean, close. And then between B and C. Yeah, honestly, smelling these, I think these are the bottom two. I'm just loving the barrel influence, the nuttiness that I've been getting on A and D. Really hard to beat for me. These are a little more on the sweeter side, a little fresher, a little brighter. So if that's your wheelhouse, you say, nope, I don't want oaky, I don't want barrel. These dudes, they're totally different. B has it a little bit. B has a little more barrel interaction going on, I feel like, than C. C is much sweeter. It's just all around sweeter. But again, B does have that bright apple. It's like you just bit into a green apple or something. That's what I'm getting on it. C is just cherry. It's a lot of cherry, a lot of cherry. Again, a little bit of that pie crustiness. Yeah, nothing crazy. On the palate, apple, bright, fresh apple, a hint of corniness, but you know, I'm used to that. We've done the budget round. C, honestly, C's nose, way better than the palate. I think the palate's too sweet. It's too cherry. It seems like that's really all I'm getting is just this blast of cherry sweetness. I've noticed that lately I've been really dogging this super cherry note that I've been getting on some of these bourbons. I don't know if I've just moved away from that in my palate, but it just seems to be the note that I focus on, and that has a lot of it. So I think I'm going to put B above C. So with that, I'm pretty confident in my order. I'm gonna put D first, A second, B third, and C last. Let's just find out what the heck these are. Last place, coming in last. I'm sorry, we got losers. Get them out of here. Last place, C. E.H. Taylor, small batch. a lot of cherry on it. It was super sweet. The nose was better to me. I was getting more on the nose when I tasted it on the palate. All I could focus on was this super cherry sweetness. It's like, again, I ditched the pie crust, all pie filling. So if that's your thing, this is in your wheelhouse. It's weird, I've done blinds and this has done way better before, but again, maybe it's just the night. Maybe, you know, my palate is craving something else tonight. So there we have it. In third place, coming in third was B was Smoke Wagon Small Batch. So I'm not entirely sure of the age, how old the barrels that they're getting from MGP are, but I was getting a hint of graininess from it, but still, the green apple note is pretty unique to me, and for that reason, I actually quite like it. So it's something I'm not used to getting, is that bright Granny Smith green apple. Whoever the heck Granny Smith is. All right, second place goes to A. A is Henry McKenna 10-year. I will say, the first bottle of McKenna 10 that I've owned was absolutely terrible. Just downright bad. I gave up on them for a while, and someone convinced me to get another one, and I did, and this one's pretty good. This is full of flavor. Again, pecan pie. This is nuttiness, a little bit of the charriness. It reminds me a lot of Knob Creek, which turns out won this one, but it's much more in line with that. There's nothing bitter, there's nothing off-putting about it. I think this is a great bottle. Wasn't really expecting it to come in second because, you know, I have PTSD with that first bottle I had. I mean, it was bad. So that leaves our winner, Knob Creek 12-year. This one's, I think it's a little bit harder to get. This shows up randomly and then it disappears. So this showed up in my store, I bought it, and then I haven't seen it again. So I guess this is a limited time thing. So if you do see these when they show up, I think it's worth a buy. This was around 60 bucks. I think it's pretty dang good. It does remind me of the regular Knob Creek, the 9-year, but it's just kind of more. It's more of the barrel, it's more oakiness, a little deeper flavors. So if the regular Knob Creek 9-year is your jam, then this is just gonna be that, but elevated a little bit. So there we have it. That's my order. Again, take this with a grain of salt. Your order could be totally different from mine. I know I might have put your favorite bottle ever in last. I'm sorry. I always recommend still try all of these if you've never tried them. I'm just giving you my opinion on it, my tasting notes, and if any of that strikes your fancy, then you kind of have an idea of what bottles to go for. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already, because there's quite a few of you who lurk. There's a lot of lurkers. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how you stumble upon it, but if you want to see more, just hit the little subscribe button. It won't hurt you. Be sure to check out all the links in the description of the video. We have discount codes, we have merch, we have a Patreon, plenty of ways to support me more. Check all of those out. Until next time, guys, I'm Trev Wilson. I will see you in the next video.